So hello guys, welcome to my channel. What we do here is mostly commentary. So this is my first video, and we'll go into the very popular Twa Twa thing. Garine Twa Twa, Kishani Twa Twa. And so I saw the whole video and I was very amused. It was hilarious, and songs have come along and all that. But I was honored to see her interview. She did an interview with, was it Radio Jumbo, I think, right? And the thing is that she's giving us insight. It wasn't just meant to be, something that's just funny out there for us to laugh or whatever. But she was having this talk about sex and, how sex applies in making marriages work. And as we have heard from the different incidents that we've had in Kenya lately, people, lovers are really killing each other, which is very disheartening. So what the pastor did was that she came up with, a formula that has been working for her marriage, because her husband is also a pastor, as she said in the video. So, and for her, guess what her formula was? You guessed it, sex. So I know this is a very sensitive topic when it comes to people in Kenya, especially from a certain generation. And it was very interesting to see someone that looks like your mom talk about all this, saying the way, for you to have a working marriage, you have to spice it up, right? So, we have to look beyond the humor of it all, beyond all the songs that, have come out of this whole thing, and see how then does sex work in marriage. Well, some of you might ask, because myself, I'm single, right? You might ask, well, you're not married. How would you know how sex does or does not work? But one argument I always use is this, I do not have HIV/AIDS, but I do know how not to get HIV/AIDS, and I also know how to live with HIV and AIDS. So to me, that's not necessarily an argument. So let's go into it. So I did a bit of research, and it was mostly from the pastors, the Twa Twa pastor's frame of mind. And what she was saying was this, that the first 7 years of her marriage were quite tricky because, she had never been married before. And she was, according to her words, and I quote her, it was more of pata potea, when it came to her marriage. But as time went by, she decided to use wisdom in her marriage, right? And she's basing all this from the Bible and all that, yeah? So as she went through her Bible and all that, she came with the different ways to make sure that her marriage works. And funny enough, the number one thing she said was sex. Because according to her, she was like, her and her husband discussed and they said this: it does not matter what other issues we might have outside our marriage. Say we have issues with our finances, or we're arguing because of our children, that will not come between, will not be an issue, will not raise an issue when it comes to sex. And another thing she said, and it is so sad that this is very sensitive yet very important, is that when it comes to sex, communication is key. Most of us women, to make men's ego, to make sure that we are coaxing the male ego, even if we're not being satisfied, we don't talk about it with our partners, right? You just pretend you're like, oh, you pretend you're having the time of your life. And sadly, that is not the case. So this pastor, one thing I loved about her, I can't quite remember her first name, but what she said was that her and her husband decided that they'll be honest with each other when it comes to matter sex. If you're not enjoying yourself, or this time round you were unable to go off for whatever reasons, you're allowed to, honestly communicate with your partner that, what, this time round, I don't know why, but it didn't work out for me. And the same can be done with your spouse. And I think this is very important, because I think the issues that many marriages face are lack of communication, and especially lack of communication in sexual affairs. So for me, I learned a lot from that whole experience, because one thing she said, and it was amazing, she said that once they started doing this, and once they ensured that the sex life was not affected by any other issues that were in their marriage, all the other issues seemed to die down. And most things I've heard most couples say is, sex is not everything and all that. But as the pastor said, this is the only game that is God made. all these other games, say football, baseball, ball, you know, all those are, you know, man-made, but sex is God-made. So if you're in the institution of marriage, then I'd hope to believe that that is something you should be comfortable with, you know, because it's God-given, it's sacred. So you should not be ashamed of talking about it. You should not be ashamed of, you know, exposing yourself to your partner. You know, this is something that makes you very vulnerable. You know, when you say, you know, you're giving your all face, as they call it, if your partner has seen that, then I do not think that there's nothing you cannot discuss with, you know, someone you're comfortable with. So for me, I think that's what I took from it all. And hopefully, when I get married, because I plan to get married, I will incorporate all this. And so, you know, it should open us more to have this dialogue. You know, let's not be shy about sex, because it's through sex that we are here, right? Okay, guys, you know, I'll continue with commentary. So, like, share, subscribe, comment down there, and let's go. Twa Twa! Bye, guys.